Trying to.
We're not going to get going today at all.
Oh my god. The more I think about it.
So here we go.
Right. Just start the episode, let's.
Yeah, let's get to it. Hurry up.
Come on! Hello and welcome to the Fellowship Podcast, episode 354 with me, King.
Me, Joe.
Me, Kev.
Kringle's not here this week, so in his place we've got Kevin Hart.
Two Kevs.
Somebody explain it over here.
Fucking
Yeah, welcome to the Fellowship Nursing Home.
the fellowship.
where we have to. The Fellowship.
It all fucking comes full circle.
Yep.
It all came full circle.
Thanks.
So, I think...
We'll have to explain.
No, it's just explain yourself.
Okay, right. Well, let's just start off by saying this week we're sitting in very comfortable gaming chairs, all
Lovely.
courtesy of Patreon supporters. Thank you very much. And one of them, certainly Nang, has been christened in a way.
Defiled.
We were setting up for the podcast, and I was just locking the Boner Bunker door, and I came back to sit in my chair and noticed there's a wee brown dot. It was more of a dot. It was more like a generous portion of, like, if you were going, do you want to taste a bit of Nutella, but you don't want to have a full spoonful? Mm-hmm. So it was like a quarter spoon, and I goes, what's that? And put my finger in it, and it's sure as shit, it was shit. Straight away, the aroma got me in the back of the fucking throat, and then, like a Vietnam flashback, I remember how this may have happened.
PTSD.
Before you guys arrived, I had a wee bit of diarrhea, and do you know when you've got a bit of diarrhea and you've got that last wee bit of strain, that wee last wee hanger on her, and you're like, you're doing the toilet dance, you're trying to get it to uncling. It's like Sylvester Stallone and Cliffhanger, and you're going, get off my cheek, and then you convince yourself it must have fell off, and then you stand up and you look in the bowl and you're like, where did it go? Well, where it went was on my trousers. And it didn't present itself until I sat down again, and then got back up, and I realised I was shit on my trousers.
And then you'd shit on your finger because you picked it up with your
Shit on
finger.
my finger, and I've washed my hands 3 times, and I put on like some of we had leftover Christmas moisturiser cream.
I
put
hope you
that
had
on,
happy
I could still
birthday
smell
while you
it.
were washing your hands.
Oh,
Oh
the new
my.
pandemic starts here, so it did. Wasn't a bat, it was my hole. So there
I didn't expect it to be literal shit out of your ass.
at least it's by shit.
Oh
you
my
know?
god.
I know, because you were in there getting the kids ready. You were making their lunch. I thought you'd made a wee bit of chocolate or something, wee bit of
That's what I was
Nutella.
thinking. I was like,
Because you went in with full confidence. You lifted it with your finger and you were like, what is this?
Hold
Smelled
on.
it, and I seen your eyes light up like you took a line of cocaine. It was like, holy fuck.
I think there should be more concern, because when he was walking out, he said, keep an eye out for more.
well, I don't know how much was on my trousers to begin. I have walked from the bathroom to the kitchen, made the child's lunch, in and out of the Boner Bunker, setting up. And this whole time, this shit clung on till it decided to drop when I sat down. I'm not confident that it has. There might be more out there.
Your kids are in there picking up food, going, oh, there's a wee bit of raisin.
Mistakes could happen because it's Sunday.
This bread not only tastes sandy, but...
Shitty bread. A shitty bread. I made Nutella pancakes for the kids this morning, so there's a risk of a mistaken identity could happen.
There's a high likelihood... Oh, fuck, I can't even...
Is this Tesco's own brand? Rat?
It was past the sale date.
Oh no.
I feel so dirty because I had a shower and then I had to go for a diarrhea.
I don't want to be
And
here
I
anymore.
Find it in places I didn't even. It could be on my top. I had to dispose of my trousers.
Did you wipe your ass?
Quickly.
Or is you bragging about how good you use baby wipes and you can't even wipe your hole properly?
How I think
You
this
scummy
happened.
bastard.
I want to know how the fuck you're shaking it out. It's flat everywhere.
What I assumed had
Like a
happened was
fucking sprinkler of shit.
there was a point where I gave up on the shake. I was like, this fucker's hanging on forever. I'm just going to get away with a tissue paper. But when I stood up, I felt it let go, right? And I assumed it let go and went into the water. But it obviously let go and went into the trousers. And when I looked in the water, I was like, where is he? And then I looked on the floor. He didn't hit the floor. And then I never said, you should check your back of your fucking jogging bottoms here. I decided to wipe my ass with baby wipes. So my ass is clean. It's just my trousers are covered in shit.
Oh, my
40
dear.
years of age.
So, I know.
Human diapers, or adult diapers is what I need. But
Not be wearing dirty ass.
the top of the show, let's just take it away from was going to make a racist comment. I was going to say one shade of brown to another.
Oh,
Kevin
no.
Hart.
No.
Oh, you can't segue like that. Oh, my God.
Once I started, I
We've
couldn't
lost
put it back.
everyone now.
Right.
Oh, God.
That's
Cancelled.
the reason.
We're done.
We're fucking right. We're done.
And,
Shout out Kevin Hart.
Anybody know anyone that went to see him in your personal life?
No. Did it even happen? Was it real?
Not sure.
Was it photoshopped?
Could have been.
Is Kevin Hart real?
Was there
Is he
photos?
cloned? Is he a
Did he
paedophile?
bring the Rock with him? Did the Rock, motherfuckers?
Kevin, what about you?
What up, Elvis? I flown here from America. Oh, my arms are tired. I had one of those, what do you call it, Belfast Babs? Delicious. I'll be out promoting my new show on the Stephen Nolan radio show. Big up that Stephen Nolan. I think he might be homosexual. I ain't got no problem with homosexuals. I just hit queers. Yeah, I heard it was good crack. What is it in the lobbies of favour?
I don't know. Never been.
Never. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I've been at least once. Maybe I've been once. I don't get out of the town for too much. But if it's a favour to see Kevin Hart, that's a rip-off. I'm sure it was great. I'm sure it was great. No, he's good. I don't know if he's good. I guess you don't like him, but that's only because I haven't seen enough of him.
It was a big moment for the city. I mean, to have such a big Hollywood star, Lavery's Comedy Club.
Yeah, they're going to put there'll be a lot of write-ups. There'll be put a lot of attention on that comedy club too, and there'll be a lot of people scratching their head going, how the fuck did it happen? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
A
how
lot
come
of
he
people
didn't
scratching
come
their head
to
going,
the BBC?
yeah.
You know, they'll be going, how come he didn't come to the BBC, but he went to this offensive comedians comedy club on a Thursday night?
But it's
Because
underground.
you guys are fucking dead, like.
Yeah.
You know, you're
Oh.
irrelevant. Kevin Hart don't want nothing to do with you.
Did he not do
What is he
Red
called?
Nose Day?
Oh, was that? Did anybody watch that?
No, well, I'd seen a bit of it that was on, but it was terrible. So
Is it still like the thing where it's hosted by someone like a big telephone and they have wee sketches in
yeah,
between,
but
or is it
it's
changed?
it's hosted. But do you remember back in the day? It felt. I don't know if it's just me. It felt natural, and the hosts were decent.
Yeah.
Now it was real stale and wooden, and ugh.
A load of people you don't even know
No,
about.
well, Lanny Henry was still there,
Is he? That's all he has now.
and then that guy from No Likey No Lady, fucking dude. What do you call him?
No likey, no,
No
lady.
lady?
Oh,
Epstein?
The one from Phoenix Nights, isn't it?
Yes,
Paddy
Paddy.
something.
Oh, aye, Paddy.
Him and some girl who I don't know. But
Peter Kay's mate.
they were all terrible.
I didn't know it was Red Nose Day.
Another great comedian.
Lanny Henry looks like his AIDS or something. He's so thin now too.
Is he? Is he still married to Dawn French?
I think so.
It's a weird pairing, isn't it? It's always baffled me. Like,
And French and Saunders were still doing their thing as well.
I don't mind some of their stuff. Like, I
Aye,
like
but
their
now
movie
it's-
party stuff to do. It used to be a big thing. I don't know. I'm maybe misremembering this, but was it comedy Red Nose Day that did the scratch and sniff cards one year? Do you
I
remember
think
them?
so, yeah.
And
The
you
what?
watched- It was like a scratch and sniff thing. You got them in the newspaper, and it had,
Scratch them and sniff them.
but it was.
Was your ass?
It was like a. That's all I'm gonna sniff for the next 24. You can't get the smell of shit out of your hands.
I know.
But they.
I don't know really, but I know.
It was all done like panels, like as if like a comic book layout, where this is going. You have to follow it in the order of while you're watching the television show, and it would come up with like an icon. I remember, and you would scratch your wee thing and you'd sniff it, and so like they're eating.
You could
strawberry.
smell what's on TV?
Yeah, it was like
Really?
smell-o-vision. Do you remember that?
No, fuck.
You may be too young.
I was
but,
too poor. Didn't have
Can't afford the Sunday newspaper. I think it was free. And they used to put the big red nose on their car,
Fucking never mind 40X cinema. Fucking smell-o-vision.
but I didn't even know it was on last night. But there was bigger events
No,
on
it was
last night than
Friday,
fucking
innit?
Red Nose Day. Oh, it's Sunday. That's what it is.
Yes.
I forget. Big fights over the weekend too.
Jam fights.
Big fights, yes.
Aye.
Fights?
What a load of shit! Like
It was big. I don't know about fight.
Did you watch it? Did you see?
watched
Have you seen the highlights?
I watched the UFC live, and then immediately after watched the Eddie Hall versus the Mountain. Straight after.
Thor. Boxing technicians.
What the venue was at least half empty.
There was about 14 people there.
Yeah.
In
I forgot it was
Dubai.
actually coming on. I forgot it was next month.
But I bet you everybody in that audience was millionaires.
Oh yeah.
It's Dubai, which
I
is
was
the
in
high
Dubai,
end,
like, so-
yeah.
Oh definitely. Aye. There've been there been nobody local going to that. They're all fucking starving to death outside.
Eddie Hall's mates weren't about like.
No.
What a bizarre defense or offense that he had. Like this crouching down to one side and throwing his wee arm up, and then
His arm was
bringing
his
I think maybe he had a
elbow?
fucking stroke or something.
He was chucking the elbow, and then this. It was like his arm was too heavy to lift. He was like just holding his right arm down, and there was like a street fight. You know when you see that one guy just throwing haymakers?
Yeah.
That was it.
I don't know. What is it? About a year's worth of training.
Yeah, over because sure it went longer because he fucking
COVID,
ripped
was
his
it?
bicep.
Oh, right.
But fair play to Thor because I thought at least he looked like he
He
had
looked
been
like an
training.
amateur type of.
Yeah, he
you'd
had no
see.
real snap to his punches, but
Yeah.
he looked like he's been training. Where Addy just looked like, he just
He had the general idea: stay behind the jab and then try and knock him out. Where Addy was like, I've designed this whole new style. You know, like he was trying
Yeah.
to become the Bruce Lee of boxing. You know,
I am water.
fucking,
Hamster
Become water.
fucking dreadful. Like,
Yeah, it wasn't great. Like he wants a rematch.
how the fuck you think you are? You fucking ball back. Who is going to pay for it? Who's going to watch it
No, and then Big Marty
I would
Ford,
watch it
he
again.
called out. No,
for free?
well, it
like?
was free. It was
was
on
free,
that.
I would
so-
love to see when a week from now when they release the numbers how many pay-per-views it sold.
It wasn't. It was free.
Was it free for everybody?
I think
Yeah,
so.
that-
Did you
whatever
not
it
go
was,
and
Seggy
see
TV or
TV?
something, and it was free on that site.
Oh fuck! I'm just so used to parting things.
That's
I
why
didn't
it was
even
held
know.
back like an hour or so because it couldn't take the fucking bandwidth or whatever.
Who was going to pay for that? I know they're two big famous dudes, but Jesus
No,
Christ.
if you had to pay for it, I wouldn't have seen it. Like,
There was
that
no
chance.
warm-up fights or nothing. It was just literally
them
right
two?
guys out the fucking
for
scrap.
five rounds in an amphitheater.
Yep, 6 rounds, 3 minutes.
Oh, was it 6? Was it?
Big 6.
Fucking cat.
Fucking machines.
It was laughable.
The way he says them on the way in, the only out of the whole 6 rounds, maybe 3 or 4 hits, and every time they hit, they went down because the hits just fucking knocked them
saying,
over.
I was saying like I wouldn't want to get hit by Addy. Like when
No.
he hit Thor, he fucking knocked shit out of him. Like, but he just couldn't hit him for shit. Yeah, boxing's just got out of hand. Like, what's up with these fantasy fights? When does it end? Or does it end? Is this because it is still young? It's still only YouTubers started it now. These celebrities are getting involved. Who's next?
I don't think. I'm not-
Schwarzenegger for Stallone.
Podcasters, but
Aye.
Just spell my other hand just in case.
I was just looking at that.
you've
there,
done nothing but
you-
sniff your hands from.
I'm
I
very
know.
concerned.
You shitty bastard.
I'm wearing lighter trousers now, so at least I'll be able to find it if I actually have more on me somewhere.
I know, I was concerned when you left in navy trousers and came back in grey trousers. Like, oh my god, he actually shit himself.
Explain this to the wife later.
I know. Definitely have no sex for a month now.
Another reason not to have sex for a month.
Connor, why have you changed the bed sheets?
You got worms. No, I know. I don't like boxing. I'm not a big fan of boxing because it's too hard to follow with all the different multiple federations and stuff like that there. But the only I unfortunately because of this shitty celebrity boxing type of thing, Z-list celebrity type of boxing thing, I've watched more boxing in the last 3 years than I have in my entire fucking life.
Well,
Because
that's
of this
it.
crap.
It's sort of broad eyes on the sport. You can't, like,
Yeah,
as
but
much as-
I'm watching it in a mocking sense, you know? It's like, it's not good eyes, it's my bad eyes. I got the bad eyes, you know?
I know, but still bringing fucking eyes to boxing. But,
Yeah.
like, the thing is, though, it's not going to make people stay. Do you know, if these stupid boxing matches stopped, are you going to stay to
No
watch the
shit.
real guys? No, because boxing's
I've never watched a Canelo fight in my life.
Canelo.
Canelo fight?
Canelo?
Just one Cornello. Ginger Mexican.
No, same. I mean, Tyson Fury will be the only one, but that's because he has that charisma. And if you don't have that, you're not going to watch.
Yeah, if you want to see real, like, good combat sports, that UFC last night was one of the best cards I've seen in my entire piff.
I only
Fantastic.
watched the party highlights. Party the body.
Every fight was great. I loved it.
Did you see his post press conference with the pizza and all? He's just sitting there eating pizza. Oh, bite you, lad. And he's just smacking away eating pizza. And he's a good lad.
He is.
And he
he's a
called
great
out
character.
fucking Zuckerberg after
Aye.
it too.
He says he wants to
Aye.
fight Mark Zuckerberg.
He's definitely going to be the next big thing. Like, isn't it? Like, you know, they have them every now and again. They come along and they go, they're going to be the next big thing, and then sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't.
Has he just looked at what
Such
McGregor
charisma.
done and he's doing a similar kind of slobber and then making himself look big?
No, I think
Yeah, but,
he
I
is
mean,
like that though.
Yeah, but there's people who have tried it, the McGregor thing, and it comes off unauthentic, and
Like
they're just
McGregor.
yeah, he's now completely a party of himself. But then there's people like your Paddy Pimblin who, you know, it is over the top and it is super, annoyingly cringy at times, but it
Scousers
comes
are
across.
like that.
It comes across as he's authentic. He's not trying to
Yeah.
go. I'm doing this just to try and.
He did mention
Get
McGregor.
headlines, it
He
seems
says
the way he is.
if he ever got to that level and made McGregor money, not one child in Liverpool would need a food bank. He says, he loves his. It's about to say country.
I know he
loves
loves his
his
city for some
city
reason.
so much. Like,
I never understand people that are so, patriotic or nationalistic. about
Liverpool's very
places
like that, so it is.
Liverpool's a
so what, if you
shithole.
became a millionaire, you wouldn't look after Lurgan.
Fuck off!
He'd tell us to fuck right off.
You just disappear
Eat the shit hanging out my ass, Larkin. I'm out of here.
by the millionaire nappies.
No shit.
You'd have someone to wipe your ass for you, so you know it'll be done right,
I'd go back and burn I'd buy the school, my primary school.
and kill all the
Burn
kids in it.
Come back like a vengeance. I don't care if you know me or not. They're going down like a Freddy Krueger thing. I'm doing this because your parents were dicks.
If you won like jackpot €100 million, if you won it, do you leave Ireland?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I buy an island.
Abstain.
Oh shit! I said too much.
A ban island on a boat and fill it full of kids.
Ban Island, hang out with the prince, you know.
Just,
I'd go to that school that I
just
didn't
love the
like and
kids.
buy all the kids in it and bring them to
yeah.
Light their school on fire and bring them down Island.
Come to me, jungle friend.
You would buy an island. You say that, but you wouldn't. You would
I would.
fucking.
I would completely just isolate myself from everybody.
What about your family?
Who them? Who them? I don't have any. I don't have
Fake your
ginger hair.
death.
You're not related to me. I fake your death. If I could fake my death, so what's a believable way that you could do it though? Because I couldn't go.
Go to a Mike Tyson fight, drive out in a car, have a guy pull up beside you, shoot you. Tupac.
Yeah.
That's how he did it.
Yeah.
He's still alive.
He lives in Coal Island now.
Does. Lives
Eat
in
burgers
Liverpool.
and die on the toilet. Elvis still alive.
Fucking shitty holder. Yep. Suit him alright.
That is the way I'm going to go.
How would you fake your own death?
I don't know because it'd have to be like if it was something like I was.
You need people in on it.
I can't go. I'm going to, he jumped into the water because first of all, I wouldn't jump in the water because the fear of heights would prevent me from killing
I
myself.
know, but if you're killing yourself,
No, that's, you know what I mean?
Some things I just can't get
Defeats the
over.
purpose.
I'm going to kill myself, but I can't do it because I'm
I
afraid of
have,
heights.
to, I have to kill myself with something I'm not afraid of. I don't know. Like eating yourself to death is probably the best one. But that's going to take a long time. Drinking yourself could drink myself to death. No, it has to be. It has to be.
You know you're not actually
You're-
killing
I know,
yourself. You have to
It's
pretend.
called faking your death.
It has to be. Oh yeah.
Not how
You're committing suicide, mate.
You're trying to suss out how to really do it.
I was about to say it has to be the fucking cure exhaust, but then I will kill myself. Then I can't.
Yeah.
You can't fake that.
You need to disappear, and
You can't
people
fake
believe.
passing out and your heart rate dropping.
You just need to disappear for 10 years, and then people write you off. Be like, I must have died. You didn't need to do a model mechanic.
It'd have to be. I'm going on a
Who
freedom.
the fuck's kidnapping him?
True.
I'm going on a freedom quest to free people in Syria.
It has to
And
be
then
believable.
I write a letter and say the ISIS got me, and I've been beheaded while I write this letter.
But yours is more like you need to leave a letter.
Gonna
I'm
show up in
going
Thailand with a couple
on
of
a racist mission to kill all blacks,
Yeah.
and then you disappear. People will be like,
I
yeah,
announce
yeah,
my
yeah.
racism. Come at me. Next time these court things come up, that's what I'm going to say in the court thing. Is there any reason that you cannot become a juror? I say I'm a fucking racist. I have no respect for the law.
Is that a way of getting out of it?
I would assume so. Like, I mean,
Sorry.
you can't. If you got severe prejudice, they're not going to go put you on the jury. Like I say, what's the case? It's a
He's a Protestant.
65-year-old man. I hate fucking old people. I hate men. I hate anybody with facial hair.
That's what everybody said about that woman who won the swimming.
Yeah, I hate.
That was actually the first thing I
Man.
thought there too.
Shout out Lia Thomas or
Lia
Thomas.
Thomas.
Thomas,
The fastest female swimmer in the planet.
biggest dick.
Fucking hell.
Did you see her?
Winded up like a rotor. Is that what they call them in a boat? And it went. Sound like a Mexican?
Her says
Does Mexican sound like First time in Mexico. Hello, fellow Mexicans.
Who says this is a racist podcast?
Oh, God.
She gave her a winning speech, but nobody sounded happy in the audience.
Wasn't it? I didn't see any live footage, but I seen that image that went viral where you had the remaining contestants stand together in unison at a podium away from him.
Right, she looked like Thanos.
Fucking huge.
Massive. Like, she was the size of the pound.
Christ.
No wonder she won.
Thor's next opponent, massive. And it's a sham. I was
really is.
I was talking to a couple of elderly men the other day, and who really
Get up to during the week, but
these are just normal working men who don't really give a fuck about cultural shit. And I start saying about, like, have you seen about this Lia Thomas man swimmer? And I couldn't get over it. And it's like their first taste of this, transgender movement thing. And I go, oh guys, it gets worse. And then I start telling them all that, and they're like, holy fuck, it's unbelievable. And one of the guys came over mid conversation and said that his his primary school that his daughter goes to, they have a transgender student who makes no effort, but they all have to address this person as transgender, and they're allowed to use the toilets and
Just
stuff like
primary
that.
school?
That's in here. I didn't think that happened here. I thought, like, you hear about it in America, you hear about it in England, but not over here. There's no way they'll do it. But they try that over here, they'll get the knees or something.
well, I know
What's
two,
happening?
not personally, but I know of
Kids?
two. No, they're older. They're like early 20s, maybe.
That's alright. You can do whatever you want. After
I
18,
know, like a
Can you?
teenage one.
Well, as long as you're not, I don't mind anybody doing whatever you want. Well, not that I don't mind. It's not my fucking business. But when you're an adult, as long as you're not harming anybody. But it's whenever you're trying to push this into schools and indoctrinate children. This Lia Thomas thing, I can see them trying to use this as like, well, this is an inspirational for
win.
kids. Like, cut off your fucking dick and you could be a swimmer or whatever. Whatever way you want to go, whatever direction.
But he
you go.
still has, she still has all her male bits.
Yeah.
You could see the fucking thing when the swimming suit.
They keep lowering
Bigger than mine.
They keep lowering the standard. Like when we were growing up, trannies were trannies. You know what I mean? It was full commitment. It was the titties, the tuck and roll, and they looked a bit. They looked the part. Like, I mean, who here can honestly put their hand on their heart and didn't say for about 10 years they didn't fancy RuPaul? My God. Just made it. But now it's like all you have to do is go.
But
I'm
that's
a
it
woman.
though. It's like
Done deal.
It started with the whole sex change and wanting to be.
Crocodile Dundee.
But once the stat change went over the line of entering into sports
In the sport,
and competing against women or men, if it goes the other way, but
It
very
never,
rare.
it rarely ever goes the
No.
other way, like.
But these men that turn into women and go in these women's sports, it's just not. How can you defend that in any way? In 100 years, when all these fuckers are dead and they pull up their bones, they're going to be like put down as men. They're going to be like, oh, well, that was a man.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to go, that was a man that turned into a woman.
Don't give a fuck how you felt.
You just can't argue the science. It's just, I don't know. I can't get on board with it
Of course not, because you're a rational, sensible person.
sometimes.
But these lunatics are running the asylum.
Or
unfortunately, at the
transphobic.
moment. Or transphobic. That's it. You're a transphobe, you're a racist, you're not allowed to have an opinion. You fucking...
But,
dick.
like, where's all these supporters? Because, like, right, that Lia fucking Thomas dude was put up all over Facebook, and all the comments, I mean, hundreds and hundreds just flicking through. Nobody's with it, like. So it's like a small minority of people, but with the loudest voice that are just ranting and fucking raving, and they get put on the headlines instead of fucking everybody else.
I know it creates an illusion like that
This is what the world wants.
supports this kind of thing. And it's not that anybody wants any harm to these people, but
Fucking burn them!
we're just like, come on,
Which-
can we just be sensible here? This doesn't make any fucking
It
sense.
wasn't a fart, by the way. It was just my leg moving.
I hope
I
that
thought,
wasn't-
fuck, it's both of you, isn't it?
I don't trust a fart anymore.
Um,
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, fuck me. Well, the only thing is, fine. You want to be a man and beat all these women in swimming. That's fine. But let's now go and do the celebrity boxing match. Get you in there with fucking Thor or even Jake Paul and let's see how you go there, missus.
but you can't because she's a woman.
Ah, fuck
She's
it. Yeah, fuck,
fighting the
that's
women.
right. We'll go fight Ronda Rousey then and see what happens to you.
Well, it did happen to a UFC fight. I remember there was one that came in. And
No, it wasn't. Everyone makes that. It wasn't UFC.
I wasn't UFC, but it was MMA,
Yeah.
and she was beating up everyone. But then she ran
Jimmy
into
Fox.
the wrong woman and got his ass beat. Her ass.
Aye, but see, then they'll go like, then they'll use that as evidence to go, oh, you see, a woman can beat a man, but that's
Well, that was the thing I was reading. Is that's might be a rule that they're going to try bring in is a transgender man into a woman has to have certain testosterone levels before
but
they're
even that
allowed.
doesn't even
It's
that
a stupid argument, yeah,
because the bone density, all that. Far as I'm only a part-time scientist, right? But as far as I'm
Yes.
aware, like even if you take all the estrogen in the world and you do it from the even puberty, there's certain your male bone density does not differ. It stays the same. There's no drug that can weaken that. So they will always still have that wee bit of advantage. They always have that fast twitch muscle, that because like what someone was I was listening the other day, I was describing this, like if you ever look at like skateboarders, if you ever look at a female skateboarder and a male skateboarder when they're like doing an ollie, they can pull like their knees nearly up to their neck because we have that kind of spring in our body's designed to do that, where women can't get that movement. And it's just like those kind of advantages. You can take all the hormones in the world that you want, but that's not going to. You're still going to have these slight advantages, you know.
Yeah.
So that whole thing about going, but if we can get their testosterone levels down and get them fairly equal on the score sheet here, it'll be equal. But it's not equal still. It's not equal. And then they'll also go, oh well, here, look, do you remember the time that even in fighting, the man got beat by a woman? I go, yeah, a lot of women could fucking beat my ass for Christ's sake. But I mean, the majority. It goes the other way, I'm afraid. And are you comfortable letting it happen? Are you okay to say, just because that guy's got himself a nice set of tits, it's okay for him to beat the fuck out of a woman?
But I just see it as delusion and mental health. And like that person, Lia Thomas, stood up there in her interview, is deluded as fuck to think
100%.
that, I'm here and I work hard for this and I just ignore all that shit. And I'm like, no, you're a cheating bastard. These women work their whole fucking life, train like fuck, to be beat by some fucking pretender.
I'm here, worked hard for this, failed fucking miserably, and found a way around it. That's what it is.
It fucking is, and there is people that want to get changed, fair enough, but you can't cross that line of going into the other sex's sport because it's just.
And I heard now she's aiming for the Olympics too.
And there will come up. I confidently feel like there will come a point where people just go either create a whole transgender.
That's what they have to do, a division
thing, or they'll just drop this completely because. It's getting too far. This person goes into the Olympics and wins it, and people are just not accepting it. They're really trying their hard for everybody. They call you every name of the day. They call you transphobe if you don't go. Yay, well done, Lia. But over time, it's these chairs, is it?
It's the chairs.
These fantastic chairs. You know what? I writ my name on the back of this chair to distinguish it, but I think I've already distinguished.
Oh, it's distinguished enough.
I'm glad to know that because I don't want to come in next week with you switching them over. I'm not sitting in that shitty chair.
Kringles doesn't know.
He listens to this. He'll be like, oh fuck! It'll be like I'll have to move them around like a magician. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. All this whole carry on. Like, I think in England it's still classed as a mental illness. It's called transgender dysphoria or something like that. Dysphoria, I think it's called. Like, and it has been. Like I said, part-time scientist, so I'm not 100% on the medical term. It hasn't changed, but other parts of the world, and I think it's America specifically, have taken that definition away. So it's not classed as a mental illness because that's hurtful.
But you know what's not fair? Is even this. If someone took this, we would get in trouble for speaking like this and being like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But isn't it
Exactly.
Isn't it moments like this
it's frustrating as fuck?
Isn't it moments like this that you're thankful that you've lost almost 150 listeners?
I'm counting.
I'm counting. Oh yeah, I think we dropped another 20 from last week. So it makes you at least you can feel comfortable that no one hears.
Oh god. All right, fucking depressed me.
The court shit's over, by the way. Was that over last week?
No, you were still doing it.
Was it?
Still doing it.
Aye, so it came to a hung jury.
You hung him?
Yeah.
Deserved it, the bastard.
Getting fucking sick of him, so I was. Hung jury. No one could. I left on for. Here, do you remember I told you about my wee speech? Right.
Yes.
Yes.
I'd rather a guilty man walk free than an innocent man go to jail. And everyone laughed at me. Like, I arrived into the courtroom on Monday, and one of the guys stood up and says, "You said something last week," and I haven't stopped thinking about it. That was inspirational. And then he repeated it, and I give him the fist, you know.
And he actually repeated it the way you said it, like
he said it very more eloquently than I could.
But still wrong.
Still wrong. But Monday,
did he say it and then you went, "Oh my god, that sounds so fucking stupid"?
I went, "Gay!"
What an idiot.
Then last Friday, I left that thing going, oh shit, I'm in the minority. And I had all intentions. This is how good the justice system is, because I was going to walk in Monday, and just because I was in the minority opinion that this wasn't enough evidence to convict a guy, I was just going to go, fuck it, let's convict him. So there you go. That's the way mine works in this kind of thing. But lucky enough, I arrived Monday, and my speech must have worked, because now I was the majority. It was me.
The inspiration.
And fucking, I can't do the math, but there was most of us, and against very few. I know what it all boiled down to. It all boiled down to people going, I agree there's not enough evidence, but I feel he did something. And my whole point was, I feel he did something too, but we can't fucking put someone in jail just because you feel like it.
I know.
And that came to, and it was like, I'd say it went on for 2 days, but in total of hours, it probably went on for 10 plus hours probably, in a room fucking arguing. And you see how, people break down. When you're stuck in a hot room and you're not allowed to leave until you all come to a unanimous decision. All the niceties and polite societal things that you do, because you're all strangers, so you don't know each other well enough to hurt each other's feelings.
Just start fighting.
It does start to go that way, because people start getting to me too. I hadn't really opened my mouth too much for the weeks leading up to it, but I was getting very cross at a few people, raised my voice, and basically much fucking called them stupid for going on feeling. And
you not tell them you fucking 2 white belts holding up your curtains in the boner bunker.
And I've got shit on my finger.
Well, at least it's all over.
Finally all over, and I've been stricken off
It's all over for you.
It's all over. The guy will have to go through it again. But the thing is, we think we got the unanimous on 8 out of 17. So I don't think they're allowed to.
Wait, so it's going to go back to courts and it's going to be new jurors brought in?
Whole new juror, whole new trial.
And my number came up.
Oh, Jared, couple
Did
of
it?
us.
I'll be Nick. Remember, I got the ladder, but I haven't been picked yet.
Well, you could get out of it because you could say, I know someone that was on the juror in the case before.
Shh. And he told me everything. Put him in jail. He's a fucking titan bastard when he shit himself.
He's stinging. So I'm off the list for 15 years.
15 years
But
of freedom.
If it ever comes up again, I'm going to just say I know the people, because now I have experience. I will
But
never.
you have to prove it.
Well, the people, I don't know.
It's not like they're going to bring you in the room and go, do you know this guy? And he's like, no. And you're like, remember me?
I mean, if you ever get called up again, just bring in a podcast episode and that'll get you out of it.
Judge, you got an hour and 15 minutes there. Check out this episode.
Sign up for the Patreon.
I'll do a wee compilation of all the times the N-word was dropped on this thing. Or anything. The last fucking conversation about transgenderisms, we'll do that one. Get that fucking...
Yeah, it needs to be out there.
Racist out there.
We need a fucking...
Get you to the front line with Russia, you Nazi bastard. So that was... But I'm having trouble with my wages now, because I had done 17 days in the jury. And
You're basically a lawyer.
pretty much, I would tuck it up full time, but I'm too busy with my part-time science stuff I do, you know. But I've been, all week, I returned to work on Tuesday there. All week I've been trying to get this 17 days worth of wages. Like, I'm fucking
right, yeah, in this day and age.
Yeah.
Cost of living, by.
And I've been back and forth from what what I was told initially was that you won't be out of pocket and the company covers you. And I went, oh yeah. So I was confident, thinking, well, I have nothing to worry about then. And then I went into the HR department on Tuesday and says, right, I'm back. What's the crack with the wages? And the guy just regurgitated the same thing. Don't you worry, I'm going to tally up the days, the shifts that you were supposed to be on, the days you weren't here, and we'll figure out what you were meant to get paid that month, and you'll be paid. And as he was saying that, the head of payroll leant over and goes, you're actually wrong. He doesn't get paid because he's not staff, he's hourly paid. So he doesn't get covered. That the court has to pay him. And I went white, like I was fucking shitting myself. And he looked at me and goes, I'm very sorry. I didn't realise that. This is the guy that's meant to be in charge of that. So I said, so how does it work then? He says, well, we pay you the days you worked here. Then we tally up the money that you're owed, and we give you that to send to the court, which is in Derry/London, Derry/Stroke City, whatever.
Derry.
And then they pay you. And I says, well, the court says they have a set rate. So how the fuck are they going to pay what I'm owed then? And go, they have to. I says, but what if they don't? He goes, well, if they don't, then come back here and we'll figure something out. And I go, meanwhile, I have a mortgage, I have car payments, I have insurance, I have... So how do I say to them, we'll work this out? And they go, it'll be fine. Come back tomorrow. Come back on Wednesday. They were off. They're working from home because of COVID. They can come and go as they please, you see. Come back in on Thursday. They're off. Come back on Friday. One of them's in, but that's the one not doing anything. The other one's at home. Who's meant to do this? So at this point in the day, what's today's date? 20th of March. I don't know whose dick I'm going to be sucking at the end of the month, because I don't know where I'm getting this money from to pay for these bills. Oh,
I look after
baby.
sweet cheeks.
all that overtime you've been getting, it's coming to me. That's
bullshit.
On my brain all week. Now, maybe this time in a week and a half, it'll all be cleared up, and it'll be me getting my shitty knickers in a twist over that.
But you can understand the panic,
sound like you.
because you can't afford not the miss 17 days of money.
Oh, fuck.
You'd be fucked.
That's half a month or more than half a month, isn't it? How many days
Hold
a
on,
month?
I count up.
Part-time mathematician.
We're so smart. But yeah, you
So
can't
many
afford that.
hobbies.
Like.
I know, so that's got me a real concern, which led me to ban a bike.
Oh my god, this boy's got mental health issues, I swear to fuck. He shits himself, then he gets a bike. Oh my,
I was like, tallying up, like, how much money could I save if I do not drive to work? And then I took all that money, that hypothetical saving, and spent it on a bike, which I haven't used yet.
And are you going to cycle to work?
I'm going to, because I'm only 7 miles away from my workplace. There's no reason. Oh, here's the other thing. I know I'm talking about myself a lot, but that's what I do in this podcast. You guys have to interrupt if you want me to shut up. I injured my shoulder 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Really bad. I've caught a nerve.
kettlebell?
Touched the nerve. I don't know, because I don't know when it happened. I haven't been able to do anything. Right? See, if I go 3 days without working out, I get super, super depressed. And then depression leads to eating wee bags of... You ever see the wee crisps with wee squares?
Yeah.
I was eating them last night
Love
when I was
them.
drinking whiskey near Cran. So, and I don't eat that shit. I had 2 Kit Kats yesterday, guys. Things are getting bad. So until this shoulder fixes itself, I'm going to use the bike and hopefully keep the LBs down, because I feel like I'm just swelling here.
So when's the first day you break the virginity?
I'm going out to the park later just to take the wheels for a
To
spin.
make sure you can cycle.
Yeah, because I've done that in years. I think 10 years ago was the last time I cycled, and then I'll hit the road tomorrow for work. But I tried to.
What a hero.
I couldn't go to the doctor because it's like a waste of time bringing doctors if you've got any medical issue. Like, they couldn't even get the child looked at the other week, and he had
Yeah, it's a
tonsillitis.
nightmare.
So I said, "Fuck it, I'll go to him at work again. I'll go and speak to the occupational health nurse." And I went in there on Wednesday, and I says, "Excuse me, I don't know if you can do a whole lot here, but I just wondering if you could help me pin down where this pain's come from. I think it's a nerve. It's going from my neck, my shoulder, my elbow, and she says, whoa, back up. I'm not really technically what they call a nurse. I'm more of a
I'm
help."
a part-time.
Yeah, part-time scientist.
She's just like you.
She said, "I'm basically a health
Perfect.
advisor." And I was like, "What's that mean?" She goes, "I can kind of say you could take a bruising." I got that in fucking Google. She goes, "That's all pretty much I can do."
What a job.
So
What a-
really,
what a job.
our job really is an arc, because apart from that, our main job is to check random drug tests. So she's just an arc. She's just trying to catch you out on if you're, coking it up.
Whoa.
So, but her title is a health nurse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The lies. The fucking world's full of it. It's just all
Call
crumbling
yourself
down.
anything?
Fucking. You
Jesus.
sit on a throne of lies. No, it's been a week of disappointments.
At least the sun's out.
Yeah, with the window. You know what I mean?
It's
It's
still
like
nippy. It's nippy.
it's like getting a nice set of ditties, and you look down, there's a big cock.
That just sums up fucking us.
Swimming.
Though. We're negative about everything. So the
That's
sun's
it.
out, but it's a bit windy and all. You're like, it's fucking sunny though, you bastard. At least it's not
That's
snowing.
the NI way.
There's a
but
bit of a chill in the air, though.
And then it'll be warm. Like, oh, that's too warm.
That's what you have to. That's the NI way.
We are miserable bastards.
It's always a dose of fucking misery on it.
It's miserable wee country.
But it's not like that's why we say like, how's it going? Oh, not too bad. It's never fucking great.
I'm always afraid to say it's great though. I'm always afraid to go, it's brilliant in case something, because I feel like I'm going to jinx myself and then something bad's going to happen.
I'm afraid to go, it's great, because somebody go, why? I'm like,
I
I don't know.
Why is it so great? Why are you doing better than me?
You a crypto king or what?
Definitely not. Are you a health nurse? No.
No. Got that.
Want some ibuprofen?
It had me so fucked off of work this week because of all this shit. Have the fake nurse, having no money, that I was all looking online for jobs, and I'm qualified for none because there's no part-time scientific jobs out there. No, but I was looking around. And I was like, I don't even have a CV. I haven't read a CV up in fucking 15 years, but I went on. I forgot I had a LinkedIn account, and I went on there and all. And I was trying to update
Still a
that.
thing?
And I was like, put in your hobbies and all. And I was like, I put in the
Racism.
part-time racist. But fuck
I
it,
know,
don't
I do the same. Something I go to that in NI jobs and just look at all like these jobs that I'm totally underqualified for, and it's like, oh, it's 60 grand a year. I could totally do that. And then you go through all.
If you had the right attitude, you could probably, like one of them movies, Buster's Millions or something. You just kind of, you've got the suave. You come in, you're not educated, you're unqualified, but I like this guy. I'll give him a job.
All these jobs that are like must have minimum 2 years experience, and you're like, where did you get experience for half of this shit?
There's some of them are so vaguely when you go to the descriptions, like they don't put in the wage. You know, they say competitive. Competitive to what? Elon Musk's wage? Because I tell you what I would need, and then they go what you'll need, and it's always real vague, and you're like, this is a setup. They're just waiting for me to get down there, and they're gonna make a dick
Laugh
out of me.
at
Like,
What are you doing here?
retard. You know,
And that's just a job for McDonald's.
Here they look after. They pay pretty well. Someone was telling me there yesterday, like 12 or 13 quid an hour if you're over 18 or something like that.
And McDonald's.
Yeah, their wages went up.
Right,
wasn't
boys,
it?
we're going straight there after this to get an application.
And I just
On a
couldn't.
plant burger.
On Plant Burger.
I couldn't hack retail or any kind of thing with people anymore. I couldn't do it. I did that enough years ago, and I didn't like it then. I certainly would not like it. I've gotten angrier and more hateful the older.
We
I've
noticed
gotten,
that this morning. When we walked in the house, we're like,
Yeah.
don't say anything, Kev, because he's about to explode.
He's arrived at the wrong time. It's a good job I found that wee piece of shit, because that was a good icebreaker, wasn't it? Because I wasn't in a bad mood until we found that.
I know, that's what we were saying. We were like, Kingsy's in bad mood. It's going to be a good ranty podcast. No, but then the shit happened. Lifted the spirits. Anybody else would be very embarrassed. No, but
Yeah.
he's just loving life. Going, I
Nothing
found
like a
my own
turd to
shit.
cheer you up.
I know. I know.
Oh, it did really bring me out of the slump. So it
This
did.
shit's fantastic. Oh, what a day.
He was sitting the night smelling his fingers, smelling.
No,
Oh,
memories.
the memories.
The memories. That's the title of your podcast.
It's a pity.
I shit myself.
If I had really had planned this, we could have made wee scratch sniff cards to give out to the listeners, just for that moment.
Well,
See, what else, what's been happening in the news?
they released a lot of footage of that Harry Potter game.
Oh, it looks class.
It looks super cool.
The Legend of Hogwarts, is that it? Hogwarts Legends or something like that?
Aye. Is it coming out for PS4 though?
It is, but see how they do it now with, when they have the, because Kringles was saying that, oh, you'll have to get a PS5 for the wife because she's a huge Potterhead. But the thing is, the way they market it, they never market the old generation, but most of these games do. So I just went on, Googled it, and went onto the page, and it's down for last gen as well. So PS4, Xbox One, or
Can
whatever
afford a
it was called.
PS5 in this day and age.
No, I
you
don't
seen the
need
price
for
of a Freddo?
Fucking hell. The price of fuel, dude. I went to the same pump within 2 days. That's why I'm getting this bike. It's an investment. But I went to the same pump one
Put
day.
your £10 in.
A £10. I did. I fucking £10. Fill that moped. They can't believe the size of the car when I go for a tenner in that place. But
Where are you going to the pump in front of you?
161. Came back 2 days later. 163.
Your petrol?
Aye.
Diesel is like 1.7 or some shit.
Shocking. No, I've never owned a diesel vehicle in my life.
Yeah, it's not right, like. But Harry Potter will cheer me up on the bad.
Yeah, it's no release date for it yet. I hate that because it's like
Oh,
it's this year, but no concrete date. But it does look class. Like, I'm still tempted by Elden Ring though.
no, man, I've been watching these videos of boys playing it, and I'm like, I would literally hang myself after trying to play that
Maybe
game.
that's how I expect my own death.
Yeah, playing Elden Ring. It looks deadly. Like, not even fun deadly. It looks just awful.
I know. I have the same. It will be the similar experience because the same developer too, as when I got Kringles bought me Demon Souls, I think, for my birthday, and I was all hyped for that game, and then it was 6 months of misery. Just this fucking cult of a game, fucking bastard.
Those saying that is going to die, folks.
This is how it happens.
If you bought Elden Rings, though, it would make for a nice wee section in the podcast because you could lose your shit at
Just
this game.
complaining like fuck.
Yeah, no, I couldn't play it. And moving on from games to movies, a shout out for that Adam Project movie on Netflix.
You check it out.
I meant to
fucking
watch it, I
brilliant, man.
forgot.
Isn't it?
Hey, it's one of the best Netflix movies I've made in a long time.
That's what makes it even gooder.
Gooder.
That makes it even gooder because the majority of Netflix movies are dog shit. Like,
Yeah.
and
I wasn't
this-
expecting it.
Maybe just that's it. If I went in with like low expectations because like that's like 3 movies in about 3 months that
And
he's
being
put out.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah, it's like it's
Oh,
the
shit,
it's
yeah.
same shit.
I went in with low expectations for Foo Fighters fucking movie.
Oh,
Because
come
of
on.
you, and I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
You can't be serious.
Studio
You
666.
can't be serious
Yep.
that you enjoyed the
I
fuck out of
really
it.
enjoyed it. Like,
That movie is a stinker too. A stinker. Like this finger. It's a stinker.
That actually smells better, that finger. I would never watch that movie.
It's got because I put that Christmas cream on it. It's got the smell of Christmas, but shit.
Shitty Christmas.
Mr. Hanky.
what is the redeeming? What because it's an hour. That fucking Studio 666 is nearly 2 hours long. It's like an hour and 40 odd minutes long, right?
Fuck that.
What if I hadn't seen it and you were trying to sell that to me, you're saying you need to watch this movie. What is the redeeming? What is the pitch? Why would I watch this shit? What did you enjoy about that would make me go, oh, I'll check it out? He doesn't even know. He took too long to answer. He's a trans.
I watched it a week ago. I can hardly remember now. I just know I enjoyed it.
Exactly. But this is the thing. This is my theory.
Sort of fun, and some of the kills were good.
This is what I talked to Kringles about this behind his back one time. I said, this is what comes with. Cause you're a horror fan too, so you're into this shit too. But I said, Cavi, because it's his favorite genre, he can just bypass so much shit. And I go, it's like me.
It's not even bypassing so much shit. I've seen so much shit that shit I've seen. You haven't seen shit I've seen.
There's a lot of shit in this podcast.
I've seen really bad.
I've seen his shit, literally. I've seen your shit.
It's very dark, wasn't it?
That's
how Kit Kats I had last night.
That's our protein.
This is me almost trying to give you a compliment. I don't even know. Maybe it's
backhanded
a compliment. Salt. Is because I was saying it's kind of like me when it comes to like hardcore metal. There's so many shitty bands out there that I love because they have a beat down and like in the one section of the song they'll just go and I'd be like, that's it, I love it, you know. When it's objectively shite, but I go, I love it for that reason, and I go, that's kind of like Kevin, because it's like he could watch the biggest pile of shit ever, but if it has one decent, in his terms, a good kill scene, that movie's fucking great.
But like, I hadn't even watched the trailer because I'm so fed up of fucking Dave Grohl that I had no interest at all, and then you shit all over it.
So and I just was going to be good.
And I was like, well, that's fucking 5-star material there.
I can't understand. It's just the logic behind it. Like, cause
I would watch it again. Like, I know that much.
I would have watched it if they shaved it down. If it was an hour and 25 minutes, tight movie, because the concept's great, the idea behind it's great, and I can get on board.
So bad you said shaved and tight, not like thick with vaginas.
You know, I haven't had sex in a long time.
Such a bad mind.
I could totally get behind the whole concept of that movie and go, that's a good idea for a movie. I don't even care that majority of the people in it can't act, because it's not really about
I even
acting.
thought the band being the main focus of it was going to be terrible, but I thought even that worked.
I think its biggest downfall was the fact it's way too long. There's too many slumpy, just dragged out moments that take too long to get to any shit that happens. And then by the time it kicks off at the final act where all the kills happen, I lost interest. I was already checked out at that point.
Yeah, but anyway, the Auto Project.
Yeah, the Auto Project.
I didn't even get my fucking thoughts out there yet.
Sorry, it just flashed into my mind.
You have to interrupt. You can't. There's no stopping once they get going. Good movie.
Great movie. I actually put it up there high end. The wee boy was great.
I'm glad you liked it, because I felt, yes, he is. How often do you get a child actor and they're actually good? Because the majority of them come off as really annoying.
Yeah.
The kid in it was, never seen him in anything else before, but fucking,
and then when you get Ryan Reynolds in a role that just suits his thing, it just works. And it was great, and it was done well. CGI was great. It was good. Apart from her face. What do you call her? And they're trying to make her look younger at the end.
Yeah,
it
was. You knew that it was one of these fucking deep fake type things, but it
didn't
wasn't
put
the
me
worst.
off. Yeah.
It wasn't like when in Star Wars they did with Carrie Fisher or
Fast and Furious and Paul Walker.
I never even fucking seen them. I've never seen them films, but what do you call the evil guy in Star Wars? They brought out the new ones, the general guy.
Star Wars.
No, I'm not a fan either. But the general guy, he's like at the fucking, he's the helm of the ship. Him anyway. He's dead, long dead, and they did a CGI one of him, and it was just so blatantly obvious. I thought for Adam Project, which is a lower budget movie, of course, it's like it was possible. That was the only bit in the movie where it's
it
like
didn't distract me.
The effects were not up there with the remainder of it, but yeah, it's a fun movie, man. It's a time travel movie, so it's complete nonsense. Like, you know, if you try and fucking explain.
Normally, I'm not the biggest fan of real sci-fi movies like that, but that was just good fun. I really enjoyed it from start to finish. It's like, this is great. Well done.
Where does it fall with the comparisons to like Flight of the Navigator and Goonies and all that I've heard?
I would say
is it that style, like that type of movie?
It's that kind of fun family adventure movie, you know, where it's like
it wouldn't be a cult classic like Goonies. It's not going to be that level of like, you know, in 20 years you're still going to talk about the Goonies. You're not going to talk about this.
Well, it might be
certainly
for kids now.
Not for our generation, like, for sure, but because we've got those to compare it to. But who knows? This could be one that kids 20 years from now.
12-year-olds watching it now, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, it's probably one of the best family fun movies that's came out in a long time, cinema or anything. Netflix
that's
really
what I was so surprised by.
Like.
Is like, if this came out in the cinema, this probably would have been a hit. It's similar in it's similar in tone of those kind of movies, But probably because of our generation, we could never look at it as a classic.
Yeah.
But there
Yeah.
might be kids out there going, "This is fucking amazing." You know?
Yeah, potential for the younger generation to.
And what I enjoyed about it, because people either love him or hate him, Ryan Reynolds can be sometimes too much Ryan Reynolds at times.
Yeah.
But in this movie, he had a lot of dramatic
The
moments
emotions he
that-
brought out was good.
Yeah, that broke up his kind of sarky usual way, which I enjoyed.
and he bounced off that child so well.
Yeah, the fucking...
No, there was no fucking like, but I mean, they
My
got on
eyes
really
lit
well.
up
So,
It's
they
class.
got on really well. The wee boy who sort of was just like Ryan Reynolds, like a wee mini version.
Yeah, he's meant to be him, in the back,
Yeah.
and he does a really good job of keeping his mannerisms and
Yeah.
and
And then even I don't know his name, the Hulk. He was good when he came in.
Mark
Did.
fucking Ruffalo. I hate
Lou
that cunt.
Ferrigno.
I liked him in the movie. I thought he did it well.
As an actor in movies, fine, but as a human being, I hate him. I think he's a fucking bellend.
Why? What's he like as a human
He's a
being?
big fucking dopey bastard.
You looking in a mirror?
He's one of these fucking woke leftists, right?
Oh, is he?
He has a big.
Yeah.
He uses his platform to. He just he misses all the time. He puts out these strong opinions, and it's like, dude, you're talking. We were saying earlier on about these minority people who are going pushing this whole trans thing, and the majority of us can't get on board. We're like,
he
we
one of
can't
them?
have men in women's sports, but they try and make it out to be it's only a minority of bigots who think like you, but it's the majority of us are bigots, But that's what I see Mark Ruffalo as. He thinks his opinions are the majority of people's minds, but it's a small minority of crazy blue-haired fucking Twitter followers that agree with him, and he puts out these strong opinions that it's just like, dude, you're wrong. Your opinions on politics are wrong. Your opinions on fucking culture is wrong.
That's why I hate Twitter.
Shut your fucking mouth and just act. Do your
See,
job.
this is the problem: is normal people aren't on Twitter and willing to put themselves out there. With these crazy cunts are happy to fucking type away.
I feel bad saying that because, he played Bruce Banner. As a fellow part-time scientist, it hurts me to put him down. But he's a dickhead.
Yeah, he played that. He was a good Hulk. He was a good Bruce.
But he does the same. He's the same in every movie.
But so is Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, how are we going to get through all this?
Yeah, the face and all,
I
and
don't
yeah.
know. Yeah, he's like he's.
It's like he's dementia and confused.
Did I get the role? Yes, that was my audition. I can't do it.
Fuck.
You won't like me when I'm angry. I'm sorry, like Christopher Walken. You wouldn't like me. No, I don't sound like him at all.
Like a leprechaun.
I was so
you
confident.
like
Almost
so
there.
confident
Almost.
for about a
you
second.
were. You were really into it there. Do it
Completely
again.
fucking.
What's he doing?
Like he's shitting himself again. Run.
I'm Christopher Walken.
Are you?
No, you're not.
I'm also the Hulk. Christopher Walken playing the Hulk. Fuck, Christopher Walken over here.
It's like he's got a mouthful of marbles, man.
I know. Holy
Christopher
shit.
Walken. It sounds like Christopher Walken trying to do fucking Batman in the Dark Knight. Christopher Walken over here.
Christopher
I am the
Walken
knight.
over here.
Christopher Walken. Fucking shit.
Why do you have to say his name when you do this?
That's the only way-
Some people
Can't you just speak like him?
I
Don't
have to-
announce
If he doesn't
yourself.
say his name, you don't know who he's doing.
I always have
Christopher Walken.
a
Christopher
Billy
Walken.
Crystal over here.
This is my guy. I can't do it either.
Oh dear God! I have to get the reference right. I can't
No,
start.
to be sure, to be sure.
That's it. That's my fucking. That's how I trigger the great impersonations. There's the key words that get me there.
I know, like, your Kevin Hart, your Christopher
Oh,
Walken.
motherfuckers!
Impersonation king.
Oh dear God! And Jussie Smollett got out too.
Jussie. Yeah. Fair play.
Black
Shout out,
privilege.
Jussie.
Black privilege. Oh, well, it's great to be black. But he'll probably get back in again.
What's his
He's
name?
only out with his appeal, isn't it? It's only,
Aye, but I think that's it.
you think he's out?
I think he's it.
Fair justice, huh?
Justice served. He'll be back to movies and TV in no time.
Should have been a teachable moment for everybody. Shouldn't have been like, you know something, guys.
Put him on the weapon post.
It's not about race. It's not about white privilege. It's about fucking money. It's the wealthy or the privileged, and they're watching us white people and black people fight amongst themselves over racism, and they're just sitting there rubbing their wee hands, man, getting away with doing whatever. They can
Their wee hands,
they
man.
can get Bruce Jenner killing a woman in a car. You can get
and then winning Woman of the Year.
Winning Woman of the Year, and fucking, you know, there's Caitlin. And you got what do you call him? Your man who killed 2 people when he's in Ireland, the American guy.
Oh, the actor, Inspector Gadget. What do you call him?
That's it. That's the movie he's known for.
Broderick?
Wait, was he Inspector Gadget?
Yeah, he was.
Well, there you go. Got it right.
Was that Matthew Broderick?
Yeah.
Aye.
Killed 2 people.
I feel like there was somebody else that done something as well.
There's fucking loads of them.
No, in Ireland.
Oh, in Ireland. Who knows?
Yeah, it's a place you can murder and get away with it.
Yeah. Well, they're Conor McGregor
Long-held
throwing
tradition.
dollies in buses, punching out men, doing all sorts, and he's still fucking roaming around.
To me, that was all like WWE setup.
Aye, who knows?
Well, apart from the old man.
Speaking of Conor McGregor, did you see his latest interview? Who he's called out and what his next fight is?
I did. I forget.
Usman. He wants to be
Fucking
the
hell.
champ. He says like, why should I come back for anything else? And I can come back and do what I want. So he wants to come back. He says he's going to knock out Usman, be the 3-time in 3 different weights champ.
I can't see it.
And because he knocked the first 2 out, he says he knocked him out, so each one of them's been knocked out. I just can't see it. Usman's too big and strong and black.
And someone like someone like
Nothing to do with it, but you know what I mean.
when he came in on the scene and he had that power in his hand and there was all that mystery behind him, and a lot of people, in my opinion, were more bought into the hype of like, and me too. I loved him at the time, but the people he was fighting were like, holy shit, he's got this concrete left hand, and then over time you got to say, well, he's beatable. You just and then his power seemed to go too, and to go up to someone like Usman, who in my opinion is a better striker than him. Is Usman not bigger than him?
Yeah, Usman's. Well, there'll be one. There will be one Saturday.
Who the fuck? Usman knocked out
everyone.
He knocked out. What was with a jab though? I think he knocked out.
That was the first time thing got knocked out. What do you call him with the long hair? Masvidal.
He knocked out Masvidal.
He had never been knocked out.
I don't know if that was the one I'm thinking of, but it could have been.
And the wee Brazilian boy.
McGregor needs to come back, like, you know, and just fight fucking nobodies.
There is no comeback. He's done. He's even Dana says, is like, how much desire is there in a person when they reach that level, that money? And I think also McGregor now, when he goes into a fight, which he never had in his younger years, was doubt. I think he has doubt in him that he might get choked out, he might get put down, he might. And everybody knows this game.
Yeah.
You put him down, you got him.
And you see a guy there on the weekend, Paddy Pimplin, like, he has that super confidence,
but he can't fight on the ground.
He fucking comes in like where McGregor in this last 3 or 4 looked almost a wee bit hesitant at times too, and it's just like.
And with that leg break, are you going to come back even more doubt inside you? Can't see it. And then you're going to come back. Your first fight's going to be Usman, one of the best pound for pounds ever. Now
he's in like, and Usman was looking to fight Canelo.
See, boxing's ruined everything. Boxing is the reason for transactions.
Yeah,
but
disgusting sport.
Yeah, no. I'd like to. Is Sean O'Malley the same weight as Paddy Pimple? Tim, Papa Pimple. That'd be a good fight.
It would be like, but I'm not sure
because they're the 2 up and coming out there dudes.
I find it very difficult to remember all these fucking weight classes and all, and who was in, because they all jump around a weight class, and then there's not many different fucking weight classes, and the roster for UFC fighters is like 500 fighters, so it's so hard to keep up with. You can only
and last night
contain so many of them.
It was the first one in London ever.
No, not ever. The first one in a long time.
Dana said after an interview it was like one of the biggest moments in history or something, so it must have been pretty successful.
I'd say so.
I see he was on Logan Paul's podcast there the other day, Dana White.
Was he?
I was actually going to ask that there. I'd seen something about it.
He's actually a smart dude, like, and he's.
I've total major respect.
He's the reason that Trump went on full send.
Yeah,
made
I
that
heard
happen.
that.
Yeah, that's it.
But he was going off on COVID. He's a big against COVID and fuck COVID.
Oh yeah, because Dana White, he got COVID, and he hit up his boy Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan put him in touch with his doctor. And gave him pretty much the cocktail of drugs that he was given, and he was fine. Like he was 3 days later.
He says he had COVID
recovered.
and he worked out twice a day.
And then openly said it at one of the events in one of the press conferences. Like, you know, there's a great clip where a journalist is kind of trying to make him say something negative towards Joe Rogan or something like that. And he's like, well, "You guys don't know what the fuck. Basically, you don't know what you're fucking talking about.
Yeah.
This shit works." And on the topic of fucking of COVID, like they just brought out again their. It was Brazil. I think it was Brazil and India. I can't remember. It was about a week and a half ago. I watched it. they were showing you that the studies of they had used ivermectin and just showing you over the results were get published. Very successful, very fucking successful, and that's always been my problem. That's always been my problem. It's not. I always had a problem with mandates. Always had a problem with like you must take this drug is the only way out, and it's like there's a variety of other options. Why are you not letting people have a choice of options? That's always been my thing. So you got big talkers like Dana White and all. He puts a big spanner in that fucking narrative. Like,
Surprised he's not dead.
fair play.
Take him out.
Hey, did you all listen to Trump on that podcast?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
No, it's only 45 minutes.
I know it is. I need to listen to it, but
That's why I don't think he'll ever do Rogan, because he doesn't do long form conversations like that. He wouldn't do 3 hours on a Rogan podcast, but it was good for what it was. I enjoyed it. Like, I like listening though. But you gotta also bear in mind, if he's running again, which looks likely, he can't really say a whole lot that you'd want to hear, because it could fuck up his
is he going to run
campaign.
again?
Seems most likely that he is. He
He
fucking
was
need to hurry up.
I know.
He was sort of hinting that you'll be pleased, you'll be surprised, and all this, but he never outright said whether he's going to run or.
When is the election? When does that come up? When does that start? The whole. Because
What
how
is
many
this,
is
2022?
Biden?
It's usually
It has-
really early,
yeah,
isn't it? Like?
I think
Biden's 4 years. When's that?
This is a second year, so I think towards the
fuck.
end of this year, I think they start really making moves to announce things. And
Biden's stupid as well. Did you see
It's
the
hilarious
thing?
though, isn't
He
it?
was walking past, and the news reporters all, "Would you say Putin's a war, or fucking whatever?" And he's all, "No," and he walks away. And in a couple of minutes, he comes back and he said, "Did you say Putin?" He's all, "Yeah." He's all, "Yeah, I do think he is," and then walks
He's a
away.
fucking idiot.
He doesn't know what's
I
going
may
on.
be Irish, but I'm not stupid.
Aye.
my fucking favorite one of recent is that everyone knows Biden, right? There's a fucking dote, like his brain's gone. He's had like 2 stents in his brain. No, he's had aneurysms and
He's
shit.
not
like that.
right.
He's fucked.
He
But
should be in a nursing
Fucking
home.
old man.
But it's even beyond like the fact that he's an old man, and he's fallen to pieces. He's one of the most corrupt politicians in history, and he's an evil cunt. Like, so
Yeah, even in the 80s and all. Yeah,
even
he's-
when people say, "Oh God, you shouldn't say nasty things about him. He's an old man." Like, he goes, "No, don't let that soften your fucking look into his history. He's a bad cunt." But what made me laugh recently was because she doesn't get as much attention. Obviously, he's being the vice president, but this would be the person stepping in if he died. Kamala Harris was on some radio show, some urban radio show they call it, like, with the blacks. What up, motherfuckers? And, she had her on, and they basically went like, goes there, you can get the audio of it's fucking great. Like, it's like, so Kamala, can you please explain to me what's happening in Russia and Ukraine?
Oh, Christopher Walken show.
And she goes,
Last Kevin Hart.
"Oh, okay. Well, okay. You see, Russia is a big country. Ukraine is a smaller country.
You'd be a great woman.
Well,
Can you swim?
I didn't want to spoil the end of the podcast, but maybe I'll have to announce it now, guys. I'm changing my body. That's why I got a bike, because I'm going to be a family. No, she was like, and the bigger country wants the smaller country, and that's bad. I don't know why she's knife from down south, but she was all, that's bad. And it was like you trying to explain something to kindergartens the way she got on, and that's because she's a racist cunt. Because she knew the audience is black, and she was trying to make it simple
She
for them.
dumbed it down ridiculously. like.
Yeah, big time. But that's the way she talks when she's talking to Danny by Black. So, I'm sorry. I don't know why I've got this Texan accent all of a sudden, but you're dumb because you're black. That's what she says. I heard it. Black and white, Google it.
They're mad. I know these people run the country. Like even Biden, I love his speeches when he just starts off like he's about to go off on a motivational speech, and he's all, when you're in your car and you go down and you just sort of, and then he just that's it. Like it goes.
You can see the really really straining to try and think what he's trying to say.
I know.
The fucking teleprompter's in front of him. He still fucks up. Come on, man. I wish I could do a Biden because I could do a decent.
Was that Biden?
Come on, man.
He sounds like the pervy guy from Family Guy.
Family Guy.
I can't remember.
Family Fortune. He was probably Harvey too.
I reckon that Todd McFarlane probably based it on Joe Biden, that character.
Oh, he's a Biden.
Well, see, the media finally admitted to the laptop being true.
Oh, bombshell.
Fucking it
What
wasn't.
laptop?
Right, so I think
Watch us all
I
over
think
the place.
anybody now that doesn't obviously know that the media bias towards Trump was the whole mission was to get Trump out.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
All these things,
Obvious.
regardless if you think he's an asshole or stupid or whatever, all the claims they have made, the Russiagate and all that stuff, was absolutely fabricated nonsense to get him out. Right. There was this quick general story. Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, is an absolute fuck up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's given his son lots of fucking opportunities and privileged positions, and just because of who he is. He was vice president to Obama, now he's president of America, so he has fucking connections. And this stupid cunt left a laptop in, repair store, and forgot about it because he's a fucking cokehead, fucking.
Spoiled brat.
He does a lot more other shit. Like, I'm sure he's injecting heroin into his fucking dick.
He was into all sorts of drugs.
He's out. None, whatever drugs. I'm not against him because he's taking drugs, but I'm just saying, this is so. He had this laptop that he left in. He never came back to get it. So apparently the repair shop was like, I need to clean this laptop. Maybe you can resell it or refurbish it, right? But on it was all these files, video, audio, pictures of him taking all these drugs, being with underage girls. One of them is like his niece or something like that there, right?
Jesus
Naked
Christ.
pictures of them and all this stuff, right? So this laptop emerged, and it was one of the people involved in leaking it out or making it public was Giamatti, who was Trump's lawyer at the time.
No, it was...
He's not involved now?
What do you call the fucking... Your man had the fucking greasy hair. Remember he had the stuff in his hair and it was all run down his face?
That's him, Giamatti. It's not
That's
his
not
name?
Giamatti, no.
I'm thinking the actor Giamatti.
No, but it was his...
Are you sure his name's not Giamatti?
I'm near sure it isn't.
I'm going to just Google it here as we're talking.
No.
But that's the same. That's who I'm thinking of. Maybe I haven't got his name.
Was that not the guy that was caught in that fucking Borat thing?
Aye, that was a fucking setup too.
Yeah,
but
it was handed over to his lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
But the main gist of it was there was a lot of stuff about deals with Ukraine and like companies in Ukraine, and Daddy Biden was getting kickbacks and all too.
Yeah, and that was all like there was a paper trail showing that there was a job set up, a fake position basically set up in Ukraine for his unqualified son to be the head of it, and all it was a money laundering situation, and there was all these things. Then Daddy gets the big guy gets 10% and all that stuff. So this has been going on.
But this
for
was
years.
all dealings with Ukraine, China, Russia, just all over, and the main gist of it came out a couple of weeks before the election.
Rudy Giuliani.
That's what it was.
I call him Giamatti.
Rudy Giamatti.
Yeah, so all that stuff was made public at the time of the run up for the election in 2020. Yes, isn't it?
Yeah, it was actually a couple of weeks before the actual election.
And it was the New York Post, which is I think from memory is the third one of the third biggest newspaper in America, and I think it's the oldest running publishing fucking newspaper in the history of America, right? So it's over 100 odd fucking, I don't know, many years. They had published the story. Social media removed it and blocked their account.
Ooh.
Buried the story, say it was a hoax.
It was Russian
Disinformation. All the left wings and the right, even fucking Fox News was crap at this stuff too. Like even they were all going, "Oh, there's nothing to back this up, nothing to back this up." And like Kevin said at the beginning of all that, nearly 2 years later, it's now being admitted that it was all true.
In the middle of that, there was something like 50, was as many as 50 top people, like fucking FBI, CIA. They all came out and signed a thing that said, "Oh no, this is fake."
Mm-hmm.
There's a massive cover up then.
See, in the world of the elites, there's no consequences for anything. No one is held accountable.
Playground.
For it. They can there's no fear of getting caught because
the
people
problem
just
where it
move
fell
on.
then was that there was a poll last week that said, if you had known this was real, would you have still voted for Biden?
Mm-hmm.
And 1 out of every 6 said no.
Yeah. So, see, when the people say, remember, Trump likes to go around saying the election was stolen, right? And you automatically think when he says that, and I think he thinks this too, that there was all the votes were fake and they were created. 81 million votes for Biden were fake, or majority were fake, and that's the scenario he's creating. But it's a lot more nuanced and complex than that. I think that election was stolen, but it's a combination of things, including this cover of the laptop. Because if you're creating a narrative to convince people that Trump's the devil, Joe Biden's the savior, and you're hiding all this shit, then you could say that is a stolen election because it's not ran on.
It's scary how
lies.
it proves how much the masses still listen to the mainstream media.
Yeah, but like you were saying with that poll, it feels like things are starting to change. I think
Hopefully.
I my hope is that the last 2 or 3 years, with all the lies that have been easily exposed when it came to things like with COVID especially, there was so much propaganda that went into that. And we see stuff like that's happening in the American elections and things like that. I feel like people are got to the point now, I don't know if the media can ever get their trust again. Because now even with today's current events, with the stuff happening in Ukraine and Russia, every time I see a headline that's, pro-Ukraine, and I go, I don't know if I can believe it in face value, because there was images being shown the other day about a bombing in Ukraine and civilians lying over dead bodies of their loved ones, and allegedly that was set off by Ukraine, and I was like, I don't know if that which is true, but because the media's been so fucking dishonest the last couple of years, I can't take them at face value. So when they're telling me one narrative is that Ukraine is this defenseless little fucking country that's being overrun by the next Hitler, I go, it might be true, but I don't believe you guys because you're telling me it. You know what I mean?
I know, it's like the boys cry wolf because they could be telling the truth, but now we're like, fuck, is it? Is it not? And then, like you said, if Trump is going to run again, like look at last week, for instance, that podcast went up, nothing bad was said, but YouTube straight away took it down, and they will try and silence him if he tries to perk up more and more.
In the meantime, there's been so many other social media networks brought up. Like you've got in the video realm, you've got Rumble and you've got Odyssey, and then you've got Parler, and you've got several others I can't think of the top of my head. So a lot of things have been developed since then. More outlets that might work in his favour, because if he gets cancelled in these ones, and he's created his own as well apparently. I can't remember the name of it. That it might make it harder to keep him silent. You know what I mean? There's more.
I'm surprised Spotify haven't took it down yet, but it's still up there. But yeah,
I don't know. It's crazy to think that it's possible that Trump might be the fucking one to fix all this shit, isn't it? A fucking guy that had a shitty 2-minute role in Home Alone 2. That's all I knew him for before all this shit. Like,
grab her by the pussy.
Grab her by the pussy. My American accents are great.
I know, so good.
Right, with no questions, anything else you just want to talk about before we get out of here?
No, I think I'm good.
We get the black light and see if there's any more shit in this bunker.
I know, fuck me, I'm afraid to put my feet down on the floor.
Oh God, don't be wearing your slippers in here, it's hard to get that washed off. Right, listeners, thank you very much for tuning in. Big shout out to our Patreons for giving us these comfy chairs.
You covered in shit.
I do apologise for ruining one of them. Enjoy the sunshine. It's now getting into barbecue season.
I'm gonna go cut my grass today. Woo! I'm
gonna go out and bike.
I would love to watch this.
Look after yourselves. We'll be back next week. That's it from King.
Jared, again.